We have dubbed you the mayor of Montecito. And I know you didn't ask Oprah about Harry and Meghan, but have you seen Harry with his ponytail biking Archie around? Just please tell me yes.
I'm now ready to say that it probably wasn't a ponytail that I saw him with, but it sure looked like it.
I wish.
No, I don't see them. They keep a very low profile. They do. They live right over the fence line from my very first house I built here.
I love that house. Oh,
Yeah, this was the house that Oprah came to the gate and crashed and maybe go on our show. It's that house. But look, Montecito is a beautiful place to live, and it enabled me to live out of Hollywood. It's the same reason he's moved there as why I moved there, to get away. And everybody leaves you alone. You can live a normal life there. Now that's changed. It started with Oprah, and the minute the prince moves in, the lines are a little bit longer at Starbucks. They are. I'm not gonna lie, but
really? Oh.
but it's been good for real estate prices.
But you started it off, Rob. I feel like you were the OG there.
I
Or you
was.
say Oprah, but I feel like you're home. And I think I saw an Architectural Digest or some magazine. And I'm like, this is just my dream place. You with your wife and your two boys. But now you got Orlando Bloom up there. How was Ariana's wedding? Did you eat a lot of food? What was the first dance? What'd you wear?
Well, it's so funny because that's now. Oh yeah, Ariana Grande got married 3 blocks away. That's what it is here now. I moved to Montecito 26 years ago, and it was me, Jeff Bridges, and Kenny Loggins.
Wow.
That was
Look
it.
at that trio.
And now I'd say it's a slightly different demographic. But it's nice. It keeps, it grows, and it's way more youthful than it was. And I like it. It's way more of a scene, which is great because it was very, very sleepy. But it still has that sedate, off the beaten path, chill vibe, which is why a certain type of celebrity likes it.
Did Oprah really hit? Did she come to interview? What's the hit story? The gate story? Do I know
She
that?
came to she saw Architectural Digest.
That's the one. Okay,
And,
that's the one I saw. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and she liked the floors. She wanted to know what our floors were made of, and she rang the gate. And then we started talking, and then that's how I came to be on her show for the very first time, and we've been friends ever since.
I mean, I never thought Oprah and I had very much in common, but I mean, we share our love of your home and your floors. This is sensational. You. Oh my gosh. Well, for Harry and Meghan, have you reached out? Orlando, I guess, sent him a text, kind of welcoming, making sure he's okay and everything. Is that part of the community that everybody looks out for one another?
Honestly, the weird thing is that there are people who've lived in Montecito that I'm like, wait a minute. They live here. I never knew that. So it's actually, people let each other kind of chill. You know what I mean? It's not like that in that way. And I think that's why people love it. If we run into each other, then it's great. But there's nothing like that. You don't want the pressure of feeling like, you've gone to the flipping Golden Globes. You've got to go over to the table and say hi. It's like, everybody's raising their kids, doing their dad and mom thing, and trying to be as normal as you can be when you live in obviously a public life.
I love the post you recently did celebrating your 31 years of sobriety.
Thank you.
Do you remember the moment that it was just time to change?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it was like a bad episode of the after school special. It was like I literally looked at myself in the mirror, like if you wrote it, you'd be like, I think that's a little cheesy. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I was 26. And I just knew that I was never going to ever, like a light bulb went off, literally again, like, ding, and I knew that I was never going to live the kind of life that I envisioned for myself if I didn't make a change. I didn't know if I could do it, but I knew where to go, and I knew who to ask. And I went to those people and I listened. And if they told me to go stand in the flipping corner with my pants down, standing on my head, I was willing to do it. And that to me is the key. And I do a lot of mentorship with adolescents today and parents who are dealing with these issues. And the number one thing I always tell people is, until you're ready, it's hopeless.
Yep.
So But when you're ready, there's a way, and and it works. So it's been the great blessing of my life, for sure.
How did your wife help you with all of this?
Well, she's one of the reasons I did it, if not the. I was like, we had just met, we were dating, and I realized that if I couldn't make it work with her, who I felt so compatible with, that I certainly wasn't going to be able to make it work with anybody. And I wanted a life. I wanted a real life. I wanted kids, and I wanted to live like a regular person. And I'd done the Hollywood thing. It was awesome. I don't regret one bit of it. It was totally fun and whatever. Was young and single, and God bless. But I wasn't able to turn that page without changing my life. And I really did it because I saw the life I wanted to live with Cheryl, and we'll have our 30th anniversary in July.
My husband retired from alcohol 6 years ago, and he says he's just never felt like kind of more powerful. He said he doesn't miss it at all. Like he loves to be in party situations. Like he just says everything's just clear. Is that the same for you?
Same. Love it. I love people tying one on. I love it.
Yeah.
I have a wine cellar
in
my house for my guests. I want people to have fun. But believe me, if I could have that much fun again without the consequences, I'd be right back there. I mean, 100%. And conversely, if I wasn't having as much fun sober as I did then, I would drink again.
It's the same.
There's no point in being in recovery and not having as much fun, if not more. It's 100% possible.
It's one of the many things I love about you.
Yeah.
We need to discuss your dad. You and I have talked about this before, your thirst trap dad. From the moment I found him, I was like, this man is incredible. He is just so delicious. Tell me his secret, his zest for life, everything. Hot dad.
He's a hot dad. My dad's a hot dad. He always has been. My earliest memories I can remember being a little boy and walking through the streets and cars literally running into each other because people would look at him and think he was James Caan. Everybody used to think my dad was Jimmy, a cross between Paul Newman and Jimmy Caan.
Does it get any better?
No, it doesn't. I mean, that's talk about a 70s like icon. He's 82. Looks like he's he looks like he could pass for his early 60s.
Easily. Maybe I saw him doing push-ups. You could even dip a tiny bit lower.
I know. I mean, I say, Dad, thank you for the DNA. Thank you for the genetics. Thank you for the lust for life and the energy and the sort of childlike way of looking. Those are without a question the things I inherited from my dad. And it's a great role model that your youth comes from within. Like, yeah, he looks good on the outside for sure. But I think it's because his spirit is young.
Yeah.
And look, I've run into 30-year-olds whose spirits aren't young and they look older than 30. So we've all met, old people who are just spry and interested with the twinkle in their eye and asking questions and engage. And that to me is not only the key to longevity, but and youthfulness, but it's the key to I think everything good.
I agree. My grandmother Pie calls that dancing eyes. She goes, I love people with dancing eyes, right? Just always a little bit of a rascal, inquisitive out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Rob, I couldn't wait to talk to you. Congrats on everything.